Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm going to be updating my project 20 uses, which is a project where I randomly roll in 5 palettes that I have to use for 20 looks, and it kind of helps me to go through my collection, rediscover products in my collection, and just give my collection a little bit of love, and maybe even decide whether I want to keep all of these palettes or if I'm not gonna declutter some of them at the end of the year or throughout the year. So hopefully you'll enjoy that. We have some exciting rollouts today, so I think it's gonna be a good video. And in case you're new here, hi, my name's Sasha. I love indie makeup, I love colorful makeup, I love eyeshadows very clearly, and I love all sorts of like project planning and other different projects, and I would really love to have you here. So in case you're new here, I would really appreciate if you could subscribe, and if you love project planning or any other projects, let me know down below in the comments, and write down below which was your favorite project, and obviously give this video a thumbs up. And now let's get into all of these palettes. So as I said, I always roll in 5 palettes, and I have a couple of palettes that are here for a couple of months. We had 2 new roll-ins last month, and I realized I have a lot of green palettes because we've been working on so many of them. I feel like the Tiny Decisions app is just picking all my green palettes for some reason. But the palette that has been here the longest is the Cosmic Beauty Undergrowth palette that has been here since my April update, or like update that I filmed in April. And it's been here for a very long time because in the month before I also was working on different green palettes, so I had to roll that one out to start working on this. That's why it's been taking so long. We rolled this in when this palette had 8 prior uses, and right now this palette has 14 uses, which means I've been able to use it 6 times in the past 4 months. I think I had like 1 use in the last month's update, so I've used it a couple times, but my problem was that I forgot to bring this with me to my grandparents' house. I'm spending the summer there. I'm only here like every couple weeks just to water my plants and, you know, make sure that everything is okay, but otherwise I'm not here for the summer. So I forgot to take this one with me, and that's why I only have 4 uses, and I decided not to take it with me to my vacation because technically I could have taken it with me and use it for a whole week and be very close to actually being done with this, but I decided that it's kind of big and I didn't want it to risk it getting shattered. So we only have 6 uses, 14 more to go. I am determined to use up 2 of my green shades for my Merry Christmas palette that I really want to like use up this month. And since this has a lot of green shades that I can mix that with, and also both of the mattes, both of the shades from Odin's Eye are matte, so I can also mix it with these beautiful shimmers. So I will be hopefully done with this palette by next update. That's my like goal. That's what I really want to do. We only have 14 uses, and I'm actually pre-filming this a little bit, so I'm gonna have like 35 days to work on this, I think, or 36 maybe. So I should be able to squeeze it in there. So that's our first palette, and as I said, only 6 uses so far. Then a palette that we rolled in May was actually a completely new palette to me that I haven't used before then, so that was kind of interesting. It was the CC Colorful Animal 4-color eyeshadow palette in the version X03. So as I said, this one had 0 uses, it was completely new, and I was almost able to roll it out in the last update, but because I was pre-filming that update, I still needed a couple more uses for this, and right now it has 20 uses, so it is rolling out of this project. I've gotten to know this palette very well. I've used mostly these 2 matte shades, like those were the ones that I would kind of focus on because you can also use them as a blush. So I would use this as a blush palette and a face palette. and I'm gonna pop in a b-roll of how it looked like brand new and now, so that you can see it better. There's a little disturbance in both of these pans. There was a little cat picture here which you can't see anymore, so, or you can't see the center of that picture. So I've been working on it quite well, and it's a good formula. It's not my favorite formula, but it's a workable matte formula, and the shimmer is like very standard drugstore shimmer, so nothing too crazy to like write home about, but it's also not a bad formula. And when we roll this palette in, it weighed 43 grams, and now it weighs 42.64 grams, which means that I was able to use up 0.36 grams, and these pans are, I think, 0.8. So I'm almost like half a shade done with this palette, which is pretty exciting. And this one is the one that is rolling out. Then in June we actually rolled in 2 palettes. One of them was rolled out in the previous update because I decided to declutter that palette. It wasn't good quality at all. It was also a palette that was completely new to my collection. I haven't used it prior, and I decided I don't want to keep it. But the second palette that was rolled in was one of the oldest palettes that I currently have in my collection, which is the Sweet as Can Be by Colourpop. It's the Winnie the Pooh collab, which has been used a lot prior. Like, I've used it 51 times before I rolled it into this project. It's quite a nice little palette. I even had it with me on my vacation that I just got back from, and right now we're gonna be rolling this palette out. It has 70 uses, which, if you've been listening carefully, it means I've used it 19 times. But I'm pre-filming this by a couple days, so by the time you're watching this, I would have used it the 71 times, which is enough for me to roll it out of this project. So we're gonna be rolling this one out, even though technically I still have one more use left. I will use it tomorrow as well, either for a blush or for a full look. I'm not completely sure what I'm gonna do, but I will use it tomorrow, so that when you're watching this, it will have 71 uses at least. It's been really fun. I don't know if you can see it, but I even have pen in the yellow matte shade called Think, which is my favorite shade of this palette, so it makes sense that it has the first pen here. It is beautiful. I've been really enjoying this one. I wasn't able to no pen left behind this one because I don't like these kind of sequin shades. I was able to use this brown one and even this pink one, but I wasn't able to use this one. And then I don't particularly love these two shimmers, the shimmery greens, because they're more like satin. So I was able to use every single shade except these three, and for a lot of them I've used them multiple times. Like the yellow I've used many times, the kind of wine one and the like reddish brown, I've also used them multiple times. The shimmery gold and shimmery pinky gold, I've used that a lot as a blush. So I've been using the other shades many times, but these three I didn't touch them. They're my least favorite shades from Colourpop ever. So that's that. And the Pooh palette weighed 105.23 grams. And I'm gonna put on the screen how much it weighs right now. But the starting weight was 105.23. And I'm glad that not only we're gonna have 20 more uses on this, but also that there is a pan. I think that's pretty exciting and like pretty cool to see. So this one is also rolling out. Even technically for me, it's gonna roll out tomorrow. And then from the last update, we rolled in another green palette, because that is how it works for me. I always need to have a green palette, apparently. It really made me realize that I have way too many of them, and I really do not need to buy any more green palettes. But it's the Ireland North Atlantic Way from Nomad. This is a beautiful palette. When it was rolled in, it had 14 prior uses. and I was actually able to use it. I think I made a goal last month that I want to use all of the palettes at least a couple times. So from 14 uses, we're now at 17 uses. I've only used it 3 times because I was focusing on different greens, but obviously I'm gonna be fully focusing on this one after I'm done with the Cosmic Beauty palette, because I don't want to work on 2 very similar brands. The Cosmic Beauty formula has a lot better shimmers and a little bit more variety, but yeah, I do still like this palette. I think it's really beautiful. It just I've been panning so many greens and then working on 2 green palettes as well. It's a bit too much for me, I'm not gonna lie. So Ireland is staying. And then the last palette that we rolled in last month was the Diavrin Cosmetics Smitten palette, which is this one. It's a beautiful cat theme, and it's very pinky, which I think now is gonna fit really nicely with my hair. I've actually used it today for 1 or 2 of the shades. And this one, when it was rolled in, it had 7 prior uses. And right now we're at 10 uses, so I was also able to use it 3 times. I don't know if my goal was to use it a couple times or 5 times. I'm not completely sure. If it was 5 times, obviously I wasn't able to hit that goal, but 3 is still pretty good for the fact that it's been here only for a month, and I've been on my vacation in that time as well, and I'm obviously not gonna bring a newer palette like this, and also like it's too pretty, I don't want to shatter it, so I've only brought like my Project Pan palette. So this one also only used 3 times, but we're rolling 2 palettes out, and we're only continuing with the Undergrowth that I will try to roll out next month, Ireland, and the Smitten palette. I think I will be working on the Smitten as well, because it will go really nicely with my Project Level Up palette. And in case you don't know which palette that is, I will leave the video down below so that you can check it out. But that's gonna be the palette I'm gonna be mixing that with, so I might be able to, I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get 17 uses, even though I have more than a month to work on it. So maybe I want to get to since we have 3 uses now, I think I want to get to like at least 15 uses by the next month, so that it means we would have to use it 12 times. I think that's doable, especially with my Project Level Up palette. So I'm gonna try to get to 15 uses so that I can roll it down in the next 2 months. And now let's get our 2 new palettes. We've actually been able to do like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 palettes so far, and I started this in February. So yeah, in 6 months, 6 palettes. I think that's pretty good, considering that I'm also focusing on my project pans, whether it's like Pendos eyeshadows, Pendos palettes, Project Level Up, and also I'm still reviewing products, and I'm duping palettes and building my own BYOP. So I think I'm doing pretty good. Like and obviously I don't use just these palettes for a look. I usually combine them with my Pendos palettes or Pendos eyeshadows. You know, especially now that I'm at my grandparents' house, I only have like my Project 20 Uses palettes, my Pendos palettes, and my Pendos eyeshadows, and my palette crush of the month. I don't have any other palettes there. Or also like maybe my Shop My Stash, but usually that's kind of very similar anyways. So yeah, like I don't have my entire collection there. I only have like maybe what, 10, 12 palettes there, and some of them are very small, so I don't have that many options, and I do usually have to go to a couple different palettes to get the look that I want or to pan the shades that I want. But anyways, here's my Tiny Decisions app, and let me roll the first palette, which is gonna be Galactic Visitor by Cinch Beauty. Oh, this is so good because it's in my summer collection, and it's also, spoiler, in my Shop My Stash for this month, or like my kind of everyday makeup drawer collection. So this is gonna be so easy to get at least a couple uses. I'm definitely gonna have multiple uses by the next month, and that just makes me so happy. That is so cool. So yeah, Galactic Visitor, I will get it after we roll in the other palette as well, so okay, come on. And the second palette is gonna be Fairytale Europe. So that's another nomad palette. That is absolutely beautiful and has gorgeous shimmers. We're so lucky. I was kind of not disappointed in the past couple of months, but there were months that I was kind of like, oh. So this is amazing. This is making me so happy. So let me get those palettes, weight them, check out the uses that I currently have, and okay, so I'm back. And we're gonna start with the Galactic Visitor palette by Cinch Beauty, which is absolutely gorgeous palette. I love this one so much. This is how it looks like, but I'm also gonna show you B-roll so that you can see it better. And this palette currently has 7 uses on it. I only started using it this year. I got it in February, so it only has 7 prior uses, and I want to use it this month anyways because it's absolutely beautiful and it reminds me of summer, so I want to get at least like 5 uses on it this month. And this one currently weighs 156.1 grams. I think I'm going to be able to use it a lot as a face highlighter, blush, and also obviously for the eyeshadows. The greens and blues will really work with the shades I'm trying to pan, even the yellows. And yeah, it's going to be a really nice palette to work on. And I also feel like maybe this kind of reddish brown could be good for a brow shade a couple times because it's kind of, you know, I know that my hair are a little bit more pinky, but maybe if I mix it with something slightly cooler, it might be the right shade for me on my brows. I'm gonna have to figure out what to do with my brows now that I've colored my hair because this is my first day with this type of hair, and I don't know if I really matched it. It was kind of, I think it's too cool toned, but it was kind of hard. So yeah, I'm gonna work on that. So that's for the Galactic Visitor. And then the last palette is the Fairytale Europe by Nomad Cosmetics. It's such a beautiful palette. I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna do it flipped because I don't actually want to, like, or maybe, you know what, I'm gonna hold it like this. This is such a beautiful palette. It's absolutely gorgeous. It's mostly shimmer palette. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to know Open Left behind this one because I don't use the neutrals all too much. Like, they're a little bit too cool tone and a little bit too neutral for me, but I'm definitely gonna be able to use all the shimmers. And this one currently has 10 uses. It's also from this year. I don't know when I was reviewing, but I think it was like maybe May. No, it was actually in March. And I already have 10 uses on it, so we have to get to 30 uses. It's gonna be so easy. Like, I love these shimmers. They're beautiful as face highlighter and obviously a lid shade. And I have a lot of shades that I'm currently panning that are matte, so I can definitely pull this with these Pandos eyeshadows and other project shades to just like combine everything. I think that could be also really pretty. So I'm gonna have, also I want to get at least 5 uses on this. I don't have to like really rush with these two because they're new in this project, so I don't have to try to use them too much. I primarily want to roll out the ones that are like longer here, but since I want to use this month anyways, and this one is going to be very useful to me with my panning content, I hope I'm gonna get at least 5 uses on it. So those are all the palettes. I have a beautiful selection. Like, we have shimmery palette, we have colorful palette, 2 green palettes, and then pink palette. Like, I'm very happy with this selection. I have like a most of a rainbow, which is good because I don't like to wear the same color all the time, so I like to mix it and try different things. So this will definitely work with my style. And yeah, vote down below how many palettes you think I'm gonna be able to roll out next month. And if you're participating in any project similar to this. I know that some people also do project 10 uses and they also include face products, which I am kind of toying with the idea of maybe adding face products for next year so that we could have like maybe 10 products. Half of them would be eyeshadows and the other half would be like other face products. Let me know if you would be interested in that. I don't think I'm gonna be starting anything like this year because I want to kind of keep it the way it is, but for next year I might change it up a little bit. I don't know if I'm still gonna do like 10, if I'm still gonna do 20 uses or if I'm gonna change the number, but I kind of feel like 20 is quite nice. It doesn't allow me to go through that many palettes that quickly, but at least I get a good use and a good appreciation for them. So I'm gonna have to figure it out. Let me know down below if you would want me to add face products for next year and if you want me to stay at 20 uses or if I should change the number and what the number should be. But I hope you've enjoyed this video and I'll be super happy to see you tomorrow. So have a wonderful day and bye.